Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Fitness Podcast. I'm here with Adam Glass and Ben, is it Winchell?
Winchell.
Winchell.
Yeah, Winchell.
You guys are from MyChef STL and KC. You guys have
KC, got to represent,
two divisions. That's badass. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. We want to do a collaboration. We want to work together so that we can bring value to both of our clientele that we serve, but we got to kind of figure out what the fuck you guys are all about. So let's hear it. Go ahead and just kind of explain to me what exactly is MyChef KC or MyChef STL.
Sure. And it's interesting, when we first met and you were describing your clientele, it's like we're cooking for the exact same people. You're exercising exact same people. So it's a very appropriate partnership, I feel like. But no, I started MyChef KC in Kansas City, where I'm from. This was back in 2019. I was working as a personal chef just for myself. I got a taste of it early on in my career. Fell in love with it. It is the fucking best job in the world. And I will use that word sparingly, but it is the best job in the world because of lots of things we'll probably get into later. But interesting thing happened in the world, the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic. And in the hospitality industry, we took a big hit, right? All the restaurants closed down, hotels were closed down, chefs were laid off, there wasn't much work, people were kind of freaking out. But an interesting thing happened on the private chef side of it, because the whole dynamic of the American family and life kind of switched to more home-based. We went virtual Zoom meetings, everybody started working from home. So instead of going out everywhere, people just stayed at home, right? We all stayed at home in quarantine, but we still needed to eat. And so what I noticed was a big influx in families reaching out. Hey, we don't want to go out to eat because it's kind of sketchy, but we need to eat. Can you come help us meal prep? It's meal prep, right? Meal prep. And it became very trendy during the coronavirus pandemic as well. But I'm very thankful that my better half, i.e. my wife, is business minded. And we kind of saw an opportunity and realized I could only cook for 10 different households in a given week, and that was kind of the max. But I had a bunch of chef friends that were laid off, and I had a bunch of families in need, and it kind of seemed like a no-brainer. And I did not go about it specifically, all right, it's a business, boom, we're going to expand to St. Louis and do all this stuff. It was more like, all right, my buddy Michael came in, a chef friend of mine, and before I knew it, he was full with clients, and he was loving it just as much as I was. And so, all right, let's try it again. We got more families. And before I knew it, we built up to Kansas City, 10 or 15 chefs in about a year and a half or so. And it just really took off. And we, emphasized the personal care, the relationship building with clients, and a lot of the things that you don't really get in a restaurant. You still get great food in a restaurant, but you don't get that connection with whoever's cooking it for you. And that seemed to be the big difference maker from all of the delivery companies that popped up and all of these trendy meal prep things, where we just really emphasized, hey, who are you? Like, what do you like? What do you not like? Do you have food, or their health things? Like, what can we do to make your life better? Then enter Mr. Winchell, who knew, how do we know each other? You knew a friend of my cousin?
Your cousin, yeah.
Her sister, you're friends with
Yeah,
her
my
brothers,
sister,
like
cousin,
8 degrees of
mutual friends,
separation.
yeah.
But he was introduced to me through email, and for like, I swear to God, like a whole year, it was just every month or 2 months, like, hey man, you gonna come to St. Louis? Like, it'd be sweet to do this thing in St. Louis. And I was like, no, absolutely not, man. Like, well, I don't want to expand. We're not franchising this thing. Until finally he just annoyed me enough, I think, to be honest, where I was like, all right, we have everything kind of started in Kansas City. Let's just see what happens. And through the good heart of your mother, putting out a Facebook post of, hey, look what my son is doing. Because we were official. We made a MyChef STL brand. We like officially launched, as opposed to Kansas City.
Yeah.
It kind of naturally started. And then similarly to Kansas City, we took it client by client, got Ben up and running. And this guy is far and away the best, leader that I've seen doing this. And there's nobody better to kind of run the day-to-day stuff like he does in St. Louis.
Oh, thank you.
And so, now Kansas City, we've got 18 or 19 chefs. We've got 5 here in St. Louis. We're hiring again in St. Louis, and we're certainly growing. But the fun, kind of beautiful thing of it is St. Louis has taken a life of its own. Every city's a little bit different, and it's very parallel to what we do as a company, whereas Yeah, it's My Chef Casey, My Chef STL, but it's like we do things completely different, and you have to, if you want to have that connection still with your clients, you can't take the same approach and the same mindset as you do in one city or one area. It has to be kind of customized, right? And Ben has just been phenomenal with what he does with all that.
Yeah, 100%. That's how I met with you guys. Is that I met Ben at a networking event, which with a bunch of killers in the room. So it's like, it makes sense. Like he's out there trying to get connected. He's doing all the things that you need to do. So way to work.
Oh yeah, man.
Absolutely. Now, dude, I loved this, and I want to dive into the specifics on your service and stuff like that, so people can get an idea of what the insides and out look like that. With your service. But I loved when right before we jumped on the podcast, you said, don't introduce me as the owner, introduce me as the founder. And that is awesome, because that is like, that is awesome, because your explanation was perfect. Why introduce you as a founder and not the owner?
Oh, it's the same reason I don't like people calling me their boss. It's in our leadership, we don't portray our leadership as like they're your bosses, do what they say. It's more like they're resources for our team and for our clients. And I founded My Chef, but like I don't run everything about it. I let the people that I really trust and that represent us well. And I think that as a founder, I started something and I could not have told you what was going to happen with it. Could not have guessed I'd be sitting here doing a podcast with you, ever meet this guy, be in a different city. And so to just be, I guess, the person that's maybe guiding the ship a little bit, but still letting the people who, there's plenty of better chefs than me. Ben is way better at technology than I. Like, you have to let those people flourish. And so I don't want to be viewed as the owner who's telling you what to do,
Yeah.
controlling it, more as the founder who's there as a resource for everybody in this organization and for all of our clients. And I don't know, the optics of it, I think it's softer and more, personal than just the owner.
Also, just like your
owner scares me.
Yeah, and just your perspective on that, like the way that you think about yourself with your business, like that is a mark of a great owner of a business. And this is, I went 100%, man. I feel this, and I was just inspired. Actually, you guys would fucking love this. If you guys haven't been to this place, you should try this out. It's a little bit expensive. It's kind of on like the fine dining side of things. It's a place called Bull Rush. Have you heard of this place?
Yeah, I saw that you went there.
Did you see-
They do like Ozark influence,
Yeah,
food and stuff like that. It looks awesome.
It was so inspiring, man. So like this guy who owns it, they waste no food. So like they only do like 5 gallons of compost per week or something like that.
Wow.
All the compost goes back into their garden, where they like bring all that food back in. I mean, these guys are like, it's crazy.
What's it called? Bull Rush?
It's called Bull Rush.
Yeah.
And dude,
our next place.
Dude, it's amazing. And talk with the owner. The owner is so passionate. He's in the middle, like you sit around the table, you're watching all the chefs.
It's live action cooking, right?
Yep, right in front of you. And it's 7 dishes, and these fucking lunatics will do this. Dude, I just thought this was part of it. This is like part of the experience. Is you get like the moonshine, the moonshine flight. And we were the only fucking people with the moonshine flight. And he came up to us afterwards and he was like, "Oh, my moonshine group." So this is like not something that normally happens. I was like trash. He brought this moonshine out, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is legit!" Like this is like no one else is doing the moonshine
Some
flight
real
before
Southern Missouri Ozarkian moonshine, fresh off the barrel.
And dude, they work with chefs. In any case, long story short, the reason why I'm saying all this, they work with like chefs. They work with like all sorts of people. You guys should meet this guy for sure. I mean, and just see what you can. I don't know. You can do some with this guy, and especially because like all the people who go there, I mean, it's like $500 for 2 people to go there and like do it and eat like 4 bites of food, and you're like somehow full at the end. But everything that comes out, it's like in 1920, like they had some cabbage leaves left over, and they couldn't, like just throw it away. So they would like crush it into a fucking pretzel thing, and then they would put it. And you're eating it, I think at one point there was like dirt was literally part of the dish, like it was soil under it, and you're just eating the soil. I'm like,
served to you on a shovel.
yeah, straight up. In any case, I thought that was super inspiring. In any case, you guys should definitely go down there and check it out. So, like, any case, I went talking to him afterwards. You could just tell, like, the way that he thought about his business was just like, it was like, this is this dude's fucking. This is not the way he makes money. This is like how he fully expresses himself in his life. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just a way to make money. It's a way to fucking, this is art. So I love that. That's why I wanted to pull that up, because it's far and few, it's few and far between that you find an owner that like thinks about their business like that. You know what I mean? So that's fucking badass. Good shit.
Yeah, it's completely experiential too.
Yeah.
That's largely our mission as well
And-
from our company's perspective.
And that all kind of it trickles down to our chefs. Like we sell what we do to clients, right? And how we can satisfy their needs. But we see so many chefs that come to us from the restaurant industry or hotels, or they come to that side and they're really passionate about food, but maybe the schedule is kind of running them down, or, they're working 80, 90-hour weeks, or they're not appreciative. And when our chefs come to us, we let them cook whatever they want. They have so much freedom and creative license, and throw on top of that the relationship building with each of their clients. Like it's such a rewarding job for the chefs too. And I think that's what drives me doing what I do, because I don't cook nearly as much anymore, but seeing that passion being lived by 28 chefs that we have all, over the 2 cities, it's like, it's what drives me. And I think, more than just making money and growing, it's like seeing what I originally fell in love with about being a private chef and connecting with clients.
Yeah, there's nothing
Tenfold
better
with all of our clients. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's nothing better than seeing that with
Yeah.
all of our other employees.
I tell people my chef could crumble tomorrow. We could crash and burn, knock on wood, but I will still never go back to any restaurant or hotel. I spent a lot of time in casino. Never that again. I'll just go meal prep for my own clients because of that. Like it's just such a rewarding job and experience that nothing compares.
And that's really why it works so well, because it's the same thing with like me. I don't like, people are like, why don't you do like group fitness and like boot camps? And I'm like, because that's not one-on-one personal training. One-on-one personal training, you get to meet the person, you get to know their family, you get to know their lifestyle. You create a program around you have to understand the dark side of this person in order to help them change and evolve. And so you have to build a very strong relationship with that person to effectively program for them. And so like you cannot do, even if there's 2 people in a session, you cannot do the same that you can do in a one-on-one session. So in my mind, I will find a way to scale and find a way to get this service to as many people as possible, because there's not as many people doing it, because like they basically say, that it's impossible to scale personal training one-on-one because there's no margin in it. Like nobody will invest in a business where it's like it's $100 a session with a client, with a trainer, and that's just when you're meeting with them. That's not like the consultations and the measurements and all the other part of it. So that's very super unbelievably important. And so finding a way to get that to people, but in any case, to your point, like not going to just cook for 25 people or not 25, hundreds of people, maybe. I don't know how it goes, but it sounds crazy to be like cooking for all sorts of people in the food industry. And I know you guys have been chefs for a while. I don't know, Ben, how long you've been a chef, but you have 12 years of experience, right?
12 months.
12 months of experience.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, damn.
Yeah. I graduated culinary school in 2012.
Gotcha.
2012.
A long time ago. That was the apocalypse.
I was going to say the world was supposed to end in 2012.
Yeah, a long time ago. I made my career. I went through the normal kind of steps, I guess, of culinary school, and I worked in, like I said, hotels, a French restaurant. I spent a lot of time in a casino. I worked in corporate dining as well, in a hospital, and I was the executive chef for Garmin, which is headquartered out in suburban Kansas City. And I view my career path as like getting me perfectly ready for this type of job because of all the experience and all the different diets I was exposed to and having to cook for. And the last few years before I started doing this, I was really struggling with finding kind of validity in what I was doing and feeling like I was making a difference. And at some of the jobs, when you don't have a good executive chef or the clientele that you're cooking for, either you don't get any appreciation from, or you just don't even see them because it's just you're putting the food out the window and that's it. And then once I found this, I was never more motivated to just do a good job on a daily basis as I was.
Dude, what was the moment? What was the moment like you went from like cooking for groups of people to like I want to do like one-on-one cooking? Like, what was that transition?
So it's a funny story. So it's interesting. As soon as I met my wife, things change. It's funny how you meet a significant other. But I realized the 24/7 operations and working late nights in hotel, like it just wasn't going to work once you get married and if you want to start a family. And so I started working more, looking for daytime jobs, and I really struggled with that. I mentioned I worked at a hospital. I hated that job. Like I fucking hated cooking in a hospital.
Why is that?
It was just bad reasons. I mean, there's a lot of death in hospitals, and like our storage or our docks where we would get our orders, right, was right next to the morgue. And we had a storage room at the ambulance bay. So they'd be wheeling in a stab victim and you'd be wheeling out chips to stock. And it's just not my cup of tea.
I
But
feel that.
I worked for an organization, this was 2016, that did pretty much meal prepping. It was very similar to what we do now. And I was with them for just 6 or 7 months and I had to leave because of money. I mean, they weren't paying very much, like $14 an hour, something like that. And again, when you're married, you got to start bringing in that cheddar, if you will. And so I really liked that job though. And it was really I was really upset that I had to leave. I understood why. And so 2 years later, I got a job working in hospitality recruitment. I was kind of burnt out on kitchens and just needed a break. So I actually went in and sold our recruiting services. We found chefs and GMs for hotels and stuff. And then I was getting really tired of that. It was just like a corporate desk job. And I was like, God damn it, what do I need to do to like feel good about and my wife recognized how much I loved that. And one day she just looked at me when I was complaining about how bored I was. She's like, why don't you just go get your own clients and like meal prep? Just go do that. You don't need a company. And I shouldn't be saying that because now Ben's going to go off and do it. But that was the moment. You think about the moment. That was just like, I remember she said that and I was like, I can do that. Like and so we sat down and we're like, well, how many clients you need to make what you're making at the recruiting job? All right, there's your goal. Get 5 clients weekly. You can leave your day job. And within a month, I was on my own. I spent that month not recruiting. I was at my desk job building a website on Wix. And it just like, as soon as she said, why don't you do that yourself? Just like, boom, the entrepreneurial side of me kicked in. And like I said, within a month, I was out on my own and I haven't looked back. Best decision of my life,
dude. That is interesting. Like the mental switch from because that's usually what holds us all back, right? Like it's just a matter of awareness. Like you're just like in I guess telling yourself a story about how things should go, and that story is so powerful that it keeps you in this particular until like just one small thing that just it can be so small. A conversation that you have in passing could be like, boom, and just like fucking make it. This is the whole idea of the think big, live better thing, is that like a personal trainer or somebody who's in your life who says, hey, look, you fucking got this. You can do it. And you're like, wait a second. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I can do this. You're right. I can do this. And then the rest is just kind of, but it's remarkable how little that happens. Like, and maybe it's because there's not a lot of people out there that are like, I guess, encouraging others.
People just get stuck.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of hit it on the head. Like our society kind of pushes you in a certain direction. You go to college as soon as you're out of school. Like looking back, like I went to KU, like I would screw that. I would have just started doing what I did much earlier.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to go to college. You're supposed to get a job, right, and save up. And the older generations, it's worked till you're 65, and I think that's changing a little bit with the newer generation. But going out on your own, kind of being your own, whatever it is, your own boss, doing whatever it is you want to do. People are scared. People aren't sure how to do it. In my approach, I mean, I'm really thankful that I keep bringing up my wife. Ben knows how important she is. She's half of our company.
That's awesome.
Her name's Nadia. She does all of our accounting, does a lot of our HR stuff. Having somebody like that in your life is really important. But I also, for anybody thinking about doing that, there are a lot of risks. And I've learned a lot doing this. I think you just being kind of number one in St. Louis, realize that there's a lot of weight and stress and
a lot of mistakes
and learning and just stuff that you wish wouldn't happen that's going to happen. But if you're thinking about doing it, you got to be as confident as you can and just do it. Like if you're able to, you can always go get a job. You can always fall back. You can drive for Uber. I mean, you can do those things to make money, but like if you're really wanting to do something on your own and that mindset, we have our chefs that come in here, but we try to make it as if they are as free and independent as they can be under the scope of how we do things, but to give them that taste of it, right? And that experience, and they feel like they're their own boss. Like it makes a huge difference.
So your chefs come. So we should probably tell the audience what exactly
how it works.
Do. Yeah. because this side of the conversation is badass as well. I want to get back to it, no doubt, and also like now everything that Ben's doing as well. But just so like they know, you're talking about like the freedom that your chefs have. The chefs come into the house. Explain exactly what's going on. Like if I'm going to pay for a chef to come to my house, what does the process look like?
Yeah, so we create a custom experience towards every single client. So every single client is completely different. We as a company don't have strict guidelines to what we do. We create that custom experience towards each client based off their dietary restrictions, what their lifestyle may require, what's in their home. Everyone's really completely different. Whether you're a young family of four where both your parents are entrepreneurs and you have a couple of kids and you just need some more time, how can we help you and give you some more time to spend with your family and work on your business? If you're a well-established CEO and you're just trying to eat healthier and be more active, how can we, really fill in those gaps when it comes to nutrition? Every single client is completely different in that aspect, and we really want to focus on that.
If you're a big fitness client, you need a nutrition meal plan. Like,
exactly right.
no, we do the no hassle consultation, right? It's free. Like we do that part, right? But as Ben was saying, like we customize everything, and our whole approach to what we do is all about like our mission statement is we establish relationships with our clients through food customization,
Mhm.
and it's about establishing a relationship. You can go anywhere and get good food, but what we try to do is connect with you. As I said in the beginning, it's like, what's your name? What do you like? What do you not like? What are your allergies? And so through the consultation, we get to know you. We ask you all sorts of questions. It's really a starting point. We are not a subscription based service like, all right, meal prep, you get 30 meals a week at this price or 40 meals. It's more about like, what do you have going on in your life? How do you need breakfast and lunch and dinner? Is it just dinner? How many days? And it's kind of flows each week, and we encourage people to make adjustments with their food amounts and all those different things. And it is a weekly service. Typically, we are there once a week cooking people food for 2 or 3 days, all the way up to 7 days a week. We've worked with some serious, health related reasons where people need breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. They need strict nutritional control. We do that. But as Ben said, we also help people just get through their work week, and
Yeah.
there's dinners on the table, and it's everything in between. That's why it's so crucial. I say this and I beat it time and time again, like just getting to know you, because the more we get to know you, and our clients that have been with us since the beginning for years, it's because we know you so well. We know your family. We know what you like. We know when you have a little bit crazier week, you might need a couple extra portions of this, or maybe this week you need that delicious banana bread that Chef Ben makes every now and then. And it's like those little things and working with you. And then, oh yeah, like the convenience of, you don't have to think about like what's for dinner, the stress, like that's all removed, right? You're just happy. It's such an uplifting experience. And then I think as people progress with us, the more they realize, wow, this is the most customizable thing possible. Like it just opens up so many doors. And
Dude, that's amazing because literally this is the case. Like this literally is
Literally.
like when I've been a trainer for 11 years, and it's this, man. It's not a matter of knowing for the clientele that we work with. It's like, and really anybody, it's not a matter of knowing what you should be eating. It's like I can tell a client, hey, look, drink this much water, have this much protein, carbs, whatever, get it from here. Here's the meal plan specific to you. I can give you the food item, how much it should be, like how much you should eat, like serving sizes, all of that. And this is perfect for your specific goal, your specific lifestyle, how many meals you eat, what your preferences are. Like I could do it. Like best possible case scenario, like 100% you. And you don't do that at all. Because you're like, fuck you, man. I have to go to like work. I've got like 3 kids.
I have to go to the grocery store and get all this stuff. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah, like wait a second. I've never. What the fuck? Yeah. So in my mind, it's like you're just giving them a bunch of homework to do, and they're like, dude, I have all sorts of homework already. It's like you can go on Google, you can go on YouTube, you can learn exactly what you need to do, but it doesn't mean you're going to do it. And a lot of it's also a skill, like the skill of going into the grocery store and buying the shit at a reasonable price, or just going and buying the right shit, just in general, just knowing, and then planning to get it actually cooked, prepared, ready. Maybe you get done with like a very like long day of work, and like this is all things, and you're just not. You're like, fuck, like we got the food in the fridge. I'm still gonna go through McDonald's or something. It's just easy,
it's the like being resourceful and just being like sensible about it. I mean, a lot of our clients come to us because they are door dashing all the time. They're spending money on delivery or just going out to restaurants. And when you think about cost, right? Like, well, the same money you could be spending on all that stuff that you're really ashamed of. Like people come to us and they are ashamed how much they eat Chick-fil-A and all these,
Yeah.
you know, just horribly bad for you places. And it's like, well, we could take that money and you guys could come in and just make it exactly how we want. And, you know, we work with a lot of allergies. Like, it's just,
Restaurant quality food.
I
but
ramble
with
on
your
and
health
on
in mind.
about how we can impact people's lives, because like we can impact your life in so many different avenues and routes and ways. Like, we could be here for hours just going
Yeah.
over every possibility.
And Google just ain't gonna get it. Like
Yeah.
Google or ChatGPT. Maybe ChatGPT will do it.
Yeah.
Maybe ChatGPT will come out and cook for you at some point. Just fucking.
Well, and people get motivated, right? They'll go for, you know, especially after the new year, they want to lose weight. They'll go online and get a meal plan for a couple months, and then slowly but surely they're tired of having to cook it all, or they bought a big bag of quinoa and now they don't know what to do with it because they used it once and now they're wasting it. And it's like all that is removed when you have a professional.
What's the biggest pain point your clientele deals with that you guys
Did you say
solve?
pain point or
Pain point. Yeah. Like let's say like what's the biggest point of frustration that you guys solve for your clients? Would you say?
I mean,
And you call them clients, right? You're calling your
yeah,
your
I
client-
mean,
members,
clients.
clients. Gotcha.
I mean, convenience is, you're saying, what do we solve
What
for
are
them?
you solving?
Convenience,
primarily?
right? People are just so, families, right? Classic example. They are so busy from work and then after school practice, and they don't get home till 8 and they don't have good, it's like the convenience. And then when they even try to do their own, you know, the dreaded question is, what's for dinner? And nobody can answer that. And when couples ask each other that, they get in an argument about it because it's such a weird, polarizing question. The convenience, I would say, is up there at the top. What else?
Yeah, I mean, one big thing that I was thinking of is, especially for your type of clientele, do you call them members or clientele?
Well, we call them, we call them members. We call them members because we are subscription based. So
Yeah.
like it just makes sense that they're members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things with individuals like that is habit stacking. I know that's like a big thing in the fitness scene, and one of the most difficult things to create the habit of is the food thing that we were talking about. You know, it's New Year's and you create the habit of meal prepping for a month, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I don't want to do that on Sundays anymore. It's football season, time to stop. Implementing a service like us eliminates that from you. We come in and we just put the food into your fridge, and then all of a sudden you come home at 5:30, 6 o'clock from your long day of work, and it's ready and it's there for you, and it's the restaurant quality food.
Your kitchen is clean.
Your kitchen's clean, but it's the restaurant quality food that's up to your standards. It's up to your health codes. It's conscious of your allergens and your dietary needs. Yeah, it's perfect.
Dude, we got to clean it. Dude, this is something else that I think that people don't spend enough time thinking about when it comes to something like what you guys are providing. Going into somebody's house, you guys do the grocery shopping,
Mhm.
correct? Yeah, and then you guys cook it. That's amazing. It's not just a matter of like, okay, now you're eating the food that you want to eat, and it's like the food, and it's healthy food, and it's like it's restaurant grade, and it's not really just that. It's like, look, I just hired a cleaner to come into my house on a weekly basis and come and clean everything, and me and my wife have far less fights.
Yeah.
And we have less arguments. It's like the house is clean. It's like it's not just that the house is clean. We are like OCD. We like our house clean, so we go hard. But like, you know, who's doing a little more than the next person based on we both work really hard. My wife is in leadership at Mercy Hospital. I own a business, a gym, and like that's been nothing but insane, as you probably know, and you know now for sure. Is that like running a business requires all of your time and effort. So it's like, look, I keep my house clean. I keep my fucking car clean. Everything stays clean because that way everything in here is going to be clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like sometimes I'm working a 16-hour day and I need to fucking push into it. And I'm like, I didn't do like my scheduled dishes, you know, or like bring the garbage out. And like my wife is like, what the fuck? And I'm like, dude, there's nothing I could have done. Long story short, like the cleaner has like made a massive difference. So it's like you're thinking, okay, now your house is clean. It's like there are so many more things that free up, and it's less frustration, and there's it's just a better a better overall quality of life.
Outsourcing is awesome.
Yeah.
I think if I had the money to outsource everything, I would hire a cleaner. I'd have outsource my laundry, but I don't have that much money. But when you think about like what we do, and even what you're doing here at the gym is like health, food. Like these are two very high up on the totem pole things for what people value. People can do their own laundry, or they can put off laundry, but they need to eat.
Yeah, yeah.
And people who are really committed to being healthy, you have to exercise.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
So I don't think many people consider our service as outsourcing as much as just like a vital part of their life once they realize how yeah, impactful it is, and how, a question you asked about what are we solving for our clients. I think it's really intimidating to think about healthy eating. We get a lot of people that come to us that want to eat healthy. They Google, what should I be eating to eat healthy? And you get a million results. And then you look at what's the trendy diets, and there's a million diets, and people don't necessarily need a specific diet. They just want to eat better, but they don't know how. And so, when we sit down and meet with them, that's why it's so important. Like, well, what do you like? Okay, we're going to just make you eat smarter carbs and kind of slowly craft a perfect healthy eating plan that is the Jordan plan. It's not the MyChef like gluten-free diet. Here you go. It's no, kind of customizing, saying that word again, the whole experience. I wanted to get that in there about because I do think the healthy eating approach is right up there with convenience. People want to eat better, they just don't know how, or they think it's going to taste like crap, or for whatever reason.
How do you guys so like when it comes to eating healthy, obviously the cost of food, like how do you guys work that into your membership or your weekly costs? Like they pay for the groceries slash the chef to come in?
Pretty much, they pay for groceries, they pay us to cook it. That's kind of how it's modeled. We do that because when we come into your kitchen, right, it's not like we're a caterer or a restaurant with a big fridge with a bunch of ingredients that we're just going to prep
Right.
all these meals. It's like, we use your bottle of olive oil, we use things that are in your pantry. If you are out and you see salmon on sale at Costco and you want to buy it, like, you can buy that and we'll work with you to use it. And so there's a lot of intricacies with that, to where if we were just like, hey, flat rate, you're getting this many meals at this price, it just wouldn't make sense. And that alone gives our clients a lot of flexibility if they do have a busier week and maybe they need a few more days of food. Well, it costs a little bit more at the store, maybe a little bit longer to take it, and so your cost is very black and white with how we work, as opposed to, if your wife goes out of town for a week, you need half as much food. You're not stuck with a subscription based service where you have to, it's like, all right, we'll just make half as much food, and then your cost at the store comes down and it doesn't take as long. And so it's very transparent, we found. But I will say, going back on just utilizing stuff in your kitchen, people love that. Like, we get to know your kitchen so well and use stuff up, and it's very resourceful. Your grocery bill on average comes down when you have somebody in there that is using up that bag of quinoa appropriately and not just letting it, take up space. But that's a kind of a lesser known thing people don't think about, is just like your fridge and pantry, everything we'll use it, like,
Yeah.
and you'll feel great about it.
That's interesting. Like, so if let's say you got like a recipe you're doing, and like there's no, you're like, oh shit, we need some like salt and pepper, and like the salt and pepper is out. Do you guys figure out like, all right, we'll make a trip to the store to get some?
No,
How do you
so
do it? What do you do?
you just
Oh, the process. So, just a rough outline of how the process works is you always have the exact same chef. Every single chef knows their clients like the back of their hand. They probably know your kitchen better than you do. And because of that reason, they also know what's in the client's kitchens. They have this like running inventory going on in their head. But we always do menu planning before we come into your house.
Okay.
That way we can always write up a grocery list. We come into your house, we can run through your pantry, run through your refrigerator, cross off everything that you already have on hand. So we want to be cost effective in that sense, but there's also no point of having 2 red wine vinegars and 3 things of salt and
we always
Yeah.
start off at clients' homes first
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah,
Take inventory, then go to the store.
yeah, go to the
Okay.
store, and then we come back and do all the cooking and package all the food up and clean, and we're out of your way. It's really streamlined and a seamless process.
Got you. Like, what are the issues you guys have run into in the beginning of doing this that you've learned now?
What question? Oh, I mean, some of the bigger ones, like we have a cancellation fee. I would, that where in the beginning, if somebody want to take a week off, we take a week off. Like, we don't, that's fine. Like, everybody's lives are different. Whereas now we realize people would abuse that and they take multiple weeks off and have a chef
Oh.
just sitting there waiting and not getting income. So that was a big one. I think, I don't know how to describe it. People being overly aggressive with their menus, and the fact that they think like, okay, you're coming, okay, we're gonna get a different thing for lunch and different thing for dinner. We're gonna get all these things, and here we want 50 different items, and then, oh yeah, we need you to be out in 2.5 hours. It's
Mm.
like, well, okay, just setting some expectations on what to expect from both sides. It's going to take us about 4 hours. We have a process. We do the grocery shopping for a reason, because it's a similar structure with how we approach each client, but because it's in your home, in your kitchen with your food, it can be so personalized. And just figuring out some of the logistics of that, and kind of getting our overall approach tuned. I don't know.
No, yeah.
Am I making sense?
it's
I,
perfect.
That makes
I
sense, yeah.
ramble
No,
sometimes.
no,
That's
no,
fine.
no, that's good. And how many clients can one chef take on one time? Like, like what's the client list for one chef?
I mean, a fully loaded chef, you're probably looking at 10 clients.
Okay.
They go to about 2 clients a day. But we have like a morning shift and an afternoon shift, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Monday through Friday. But we've had the psycho chefs that still love the 60-hour work week, and they'll work on a Sunday also and still just take that one day off. So we just to preface, every single one of our chefs has the same story as Adam. But they have their own background to it. They have
Yeah.
their own nuances and their own little reasons to why they are where they are. But some of them just can't get out of that restaurant lifestyle. It's really hard when we've been indoctrinated into this type of system,
I got
which
you.
is just like nonstop hustle and bustle,
Yeah.
crazy. And now they're in this quote unquote normal lifestyle, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And it's hard for them to adjust out of that and be like,
Get
well,
holidays off.
yeah, what? I just worked 40 hours. What am I supposed to do with all my extra time?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So getting the chefs used to that is also a big adjustment too.
Sometimes the clients come in to help cook, and the chef is just like, "That's not how it's fucking done." You know what I mean?
No.
Like they're a head chef and like a fucking, you know what I mean? Like
No.
Chef
Our
Ramsay.
clients are smart enough to realize, all right, the professionals in my kitchen, like, step
Right,
up.
right.
Yeah, they don't want
Uh,
to be involved.
and having us come into people's homes, like, it's a very intimate situation, right? You're in somebody's home, right? They let their guard down a little bit more vulnerable. But when you have a professional chef coming into your kitchen, cooking for you,
Yeah.
like doing stuff that you have no idea, it's like an event. It's fun for people that are
Yeah.
working at home. When some people aren't home when we're there, but they really enjoyed that. It's like a show, and it's like, holy cow, look, they're using all my nice equipment that I don't even know how to use myself.
Right.
And I think that just adds to it as well.
Yeah, and,
Like,
and kids get involved sometimes
But-
too. It's really fun.
Yeah,
they don't
Kids
usually
get
step
involved.
in. We'll do a cooking lesson for you, which we do those to teach you things. We don't really, if you're gonna step into your kitchen while we're meal prepping, it kind of makes things
Oh, that's kind of
get in
wild.
the way. Like, I'm not gonna come
100%.
here and step into your
That's not
pot
the-
over there
yeah.
and be like, let me show you how to actually dumbbell properly. And no, you're a professional.
No, that totally makes sense, man. And I was just kind of thinking, is that like is that just like a stereotype of like a head chef in a kitchen, like the Chef Ramsay, like kind of crazy? Because I did this cooking class. And it was a really nice, I can't remember the name of it.
Kitchen
now.
Conservatory.
Kitchen Conservatory,
Awesome
100%.
place.
That was a dope place. And the owner, she was running the class. And
Mm.
dude, she like, it's so funny. We had about 12 of us or so. And like, she kind of is snappy at the people that are, and I just could not stop. I couldn't help but to laugh because like we were doing some kind of noodle and we were like making them from scratch. So we literally made all the noodle from scratch. We rolled them out and then we were cutting them. And then after you cut them, you turn them into like bow ties. And she was like making fun of some of the people were making like shitty bow ties. Like, that's kind of weird bow tie, but sure. Like, and she would like snap a little bit. And I was like, that is fucking hilarious.
So that stereotype, right? The Gordon Ramsay. Do you watch The Bear? You watch that show?
Yeah.
Oh
You know,
no.
That just the aggressive, kind of negative, pessimistic style of restaurant industry, throwing throwing the hot pan of grease because you burnt, like, all that. I hated that, and I think I speak for a lot of chefs when I say like that side of things. Yeah, it looks good on TV when Gordon Ramsay's calling you an idiot sandwich. Like, that looks funny, but that is so detrimental to your mental health, and a lot of
100%.
people don't really think about it. I think it's come to light a little bit more, and you look
Yeah.
at Anthony Bourdain, he brought that to light quite a bit. But one of the reasons I fell in love with this type of work is that, and I sell this to the chefs that we interview to potentially come on board, is like, you don't have that executive chef over your shoulder, like telling you how to butcher a chicken. There's a million ways you can butcher a chicken and still get the same results. And so going back to the independent aspect of why our chefs love this job is they don't have somebody yelling at you and getting so angry and making you feel like shit because you didn't butcher the chicken. And it's like, we eliminate that stuff. And again, that's why I'll never go back, because I'd probably get pushed into some sort of depressed state. And it's funny and it's kind of, we're lighthearted, but
Oh, so it's real.
if I
It's really
kept going down the
Oh, yeah.
path I was going of working in hotels and casinos, and especially after getting married, like you divorce, like life ruin, like you get into those avenues, which it's really unfortunate. It's not, everybody's not like that, and there's certainly plenty of really passionate chefs, but you're seeing that more and more, that just some of those things are so unattractive. And then when the pandemic happened and all these chefs stayed home and realized that they could work virtual jobs and make similar money and not have to go into a angry executive chef's kitchen, like, it's changing. But I really am conscious of that. And I look, when chefs come interview and they tell us, like, I just 80-hour week, man, it's my wife, and they say those things. I'm like, all right, let's talk. Like, there's so many amazing people that get shoved down because of those things. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's wild, man. I always,
Serious topic.
yeah, no, 100%. I didn't realize that it was like that was literally a thing. I will say this though, like I was just telling you about the Bull Rush place. That there's a little bit of tension inside. You're watching it a little bit, like in the middle. Like you can kind of tell they're like talking. They're talking to each other, but it's like, and it's done so well. And I talked to the guy afterwards, like, so just anybody, it's definitely worth going. But I can sort of feel that where it's like this thing needs to come out, and it looks like if you saw the pictures of the food that comes out, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I was making a joke, like it's like I'm not gonna say the joke. I was it's gonna gross you out. You're not gonna want to go. But I mean, it's like the weirdest shit ever. You would never imagine is gonna come out of a plate. Like you would never eat it, and it comes out looking fucking beautiful. And it's like 2 bites of food, and you take 2 bites of it, and it's fucking actually delicious.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I said, like he literally dressed up like soil at one point and ate that. We ate that, and I was like, damn, I need some more of this dirt, man. Let's get some more of this dirt. And in any case, like. Yeah, man, I just think I felt that though. I felt that kind of tension. Like the guy who's like the head chef dude would just be like making sure everything was getting done right. But I didn't know that was like a real thing. So it's like really
Well,
happening.
I should step back real quick. There are plenty of really passionate chefs that are all into it, that do great things for this industry, that go the Michelin star restaurant route, and are really passionate about fine dining and that sort of stuff. I didn't want to make it seem like the whole industry is like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there certainly is a portion like that.
Yeah.
I
No, yeah. What you were experiencing was probably more of that sense of urgency that back of the house individuals just have to have.
Yeah.
But there's so many restaurants that just have this incredible sense of camaraderie. I mean, you're always going to have a bad apple, but that's at any job.
Yeah, no doubt.
So he wasn't like just totally shitting on the back of the house world, but it's a very prevalent thing. The mental health side of thing is definitely very prevalent, and it can be a very toxic world. But as you will see, we're very particular about the people that we hire, and most of them come from those really high end positions, and they're just burnt out and tired of dealing with the crappy side of things, and now they want to have that like creative freedom, and they come to us and experience that more normal lifestyle and get to kind of escape the bullshit.
Is there anything like that in the fitness industry?
100%. I was just going to relate that to the fitness industry. Like, so the people that I bring on, we make sure that they follow the same core values. And one big thing is you cannot help a human being get better unless you truly care.
Mhm.
And you can feel that as somebody. So I have questions that I ask my trainers that come in to kind of like, are you coming in here to like, you like just run people through programs, or are you coming here to like help somebody change the direction of their life? Because at the end of the day, if you're going to lose weight, that means you're going to take physical mass off your body, which is making a real physiological change, which is extremely traumatic to your overall system.
Mhm.
So like your biochemistry has to change. So like in essence, if you are losing weight, you are going to be a different human being when you're done with the process. So you have to change all the way down to your behaviors. And if you want somebody to help you do that, it's not just going to be somebody who knows the X's and O's. It's somebody who actually cares. And so what I find is in the industry of fitness, what people and personal training, what people usually think of are like post athletes, somebody who's like a dude wearing a flat bill backwards hat, drinking a fucking Bang. And here I got this fucking rain right now, which is crazy that I'm even drinking this right now on the podcast. But in any case, I don't drink a lot of energy drinks. There's an energy drink right here. But in any case, I guess I'm also wearing a beanie for the first time, which is funny too, because I got long hair. So just any case, this is stupid. I'm the problem. But but basically these guys, don't get me wrong, they're just very egotistical kind of people, like very like it's their way or the highway, stuck in their ways kind of thing. They know best, like not really evolving. Like this was my past. Like for example, you get in with a bodybuilder, he's going to teach you how to do bodybuilding. He's going to be really like strict on the macros and shit and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And that's the sport of bodybuilding. and isolation exercises, and also in a million different ways to do a bicep curl, which you're going to do with that guy. And then you go with a person who's a weightlifter or a power lifter. They're going to tell you sport specific technique on ways to like do bench press or XYZ. They're not really thinking about Mrs. Jones, who's walking in here and she just wants to get up the stairs, and they got her doing like fucking, sets of 3 to 6 on the barbell deadlift for an hour. It's like, that's not what she needs. She needs like lateral movements, forward, back. We need to work agility, balance, and then resistance training as part of it. But long story short, like, they don't really care about Mrs. Jones because they're just trying to be like, hey, for you to be fit, you have to do the stuff that I was doing. And it's hard to talk with those guys because, I mean, they look, and I'm not saying they're all like this. I'm just saying this is definitely primarily what it's going to be. You can bring a book out. I've been a trainer for 11 years in the industry. I'm trying to make a change here. We don't do this here at Big Fitness. You can bring the book out. You can bring the National Strength and Conditioning book out. The NSCA is the gold standard certification agency for personal training and strength and conditioning in the United States. They were the first agency to create a literature around how to train somebody in exercise physiology. So in my mind, like, that is the science, and you can open that book up and you can be like, here's what they're saying about this. Like, let's say set rep range, like let's say exercise intensity for duration, and you could like, this is what they're saying for strength. And if the person has a different mind, they will fight against the science. They will fight against the literature. Like, so in my mind, that's what's going to happen when Mrs. Jones come in. Mrs. Jones is going to come in and they're going to be like, look, I want to be able to carry my kids. And they're like, no, dude, you need to be able to lift your car. You need to be able to lift it right now. It's like, no, Mrs. Jones doesn't need to do that. Any case, long story short, I've been trying my best to get around that. Like, find people who are definitely confident in their abilities, but find people that just care enough to customize this thing and personalize it to where this thing is helping the individual person.
And I would think, and excuse me, I don't know too much about a bodybuilding, a trainer whose only thing was bodybuilding. That's all they do. And all they work with are bodybuilding clients, but hey, they need some money and they apply to come be a trainer here. If Ms. Jones comes in, maybe they're not used to working with somebody like that. It might affect that. With our chefs, like, we look for the example I always give is, if I'm going to hire a chef, like, as much as everybody loves pasta, if somebody came in and their only specialty was making pasta, like they're straight from Italy, that's all they do. Like, great, you can be a special event chef with us, but you will not be successful with the meal prep side of it because nobody wants to eat pasta all the time. And you get clients with all sorts of preferences. So being well-rounded maybe is the right word, meaning you can take care of the elderly lady who doesn't need to eat like a bodybuilder, but yeah, you can also cook, 3,000 calories a day for the bodybuilder, and being able to, again, customize to any person, right? I think in both industries is crucial, obviously, but I think it's pretty similar.
So that's interesting. So it's like, you have a family, let's say, and you have like 5 members, and you have a chef. The chef can cook like
different plans. Yeah, we get, the diabetic husband that needs low carb stuff, or we do have a lot of allergies. Celiac is a kind of a common one. If we have seen it, I wouldn't recommend, but seen it where the child is gluten-free, but everybody else eats gluten, and so they need separate things. I mean, it's, again, we're personal chefs. It's a personalized
That's awesome
experience. Yeah. Again, not to cut you off, but when you think about meal prep, and it's like, well, when you think about the big companies out there that are nationwide that ship, it's like, you have to pick from this kind of certain style of menu, or you have to go this certain way, and eventually you get tired of it. Whereas, we can customize everything.
This is always the problem, because like, for me, I try to find solutions to help my clients. Like, I've been looking for solutions. I've tried multiple. Like the freshly was good, but not like, it starts getting a little gross. It's just like the fresh, never frozen meals. People get tired of eating out of a plastic bowl. So it's like, okay, that ends up, and then the variety, not a lot of variety. Factor was good in terms of quality of the food that came in, but then again, it was just like the food come in, it was very like, it would be like, I can't eat this. And so there's only so many options that are available for me, to eat that. So that's a problem. And then that gets old too. At one point I was having people go to Fit Flavors. Fit Flavors was a little bland taste wise, for most people. So they would cut off on that. They were just like, I need more taste. And those are, in my mind, I get this idea because I tried fresh Fit Flavors for a while. In my mind, Fit Flavors was kind of same. I got like this kind of the same thing, and I felt like they were much more for like people who are maybe more fitness minded people looking for like macros. It's like I can be robotic. I know exactly what I'm eating, and that they're great for that, and they get really specific with that. But then afterwards, it's like, but I actually like good tasting food on top of it, and I again don't want to eat on.
We see people also that use all these different companies, and I'm not trying to
rotate
talk all
them.
these companies,
No,
but
right, no, same.
they come to us because they get, for lack of a better term, bored with the same style or the same menu. And unless there's a really big health reason, you're morbidly obese, needing to lose, I would never recommend any of our clients go 7 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because just like with anything, you'll get bored, you'll get burnt out. You're never going to eat at the exact same restaurant every single night. And when people come to us because they were using the Freshlies of the world, right? They're just ultimately eventually get tired of that menu or picking from Freshly's menu. Or as I said earlier, it's like, no, you come to my chef, it's like, all right, Gonzalez family menu based off of us getting to know you.
Yeah.
It's your menu and it changes every week and it's always supposed to be fresh and engaging, exciting. And if you get bored with it for whatever reason, like you just tell us and we, it's just, that's another, people get so tired of the same stuff. That's why they come to us, because the customization. I'm going to use that word a million times.
No, and you should, because that's exactly what this whole thing is about, is that like, you're not going to get better than somebody who comes in and personalizes it for you. Like you can't get better. Maybe this would be a good exercise. Is there a better option?
No.
Not to my knowledge. We take all those operations and we just take it to the next level. As far as I know, that's it. And especially when it comes to like the nutrition side of things, if you're working out and then eating like crap, you're throwing a large portion of that progress in the trash. The nutrition side of things is so incredibly important to your exercise, but also your quality of life, your mental health, your physical health, your gut health, etc. And we cater towards everyone's needs. Like we said, we cater towards the family that has the wife and the 2 little kids, but then the husband is a hyper successful, uber active individual, and they're trying to lose 20 pounds. We can make separate food for the family and then weight loss food for the husband that's really active in fitness. But at the end of the day, like every single individual is different, and how can you feed them ingredients that's going to optimize their performance? If you're not doing that, then you're not taking advantage of all your opportunities.
If you get somebody who wants to lose weight, what would be the meal plan you'd give them? Let's say, what would you be cooking for them? General person, let's say, like it's a couple. They're like general pop. They don't have any crazy things they need to like add in, and they just want to eat better. Let's say, I'll make it, that's probably what they'll say. We want to eat better. We want to lose a little bit.
Well, you don't want to make those just drastic changes, because that's when people burn out. Is when you just make drastic changes, start journaling, drink all this water, work out 5 days a week.
100%.
Do the whole 9 yards. So
it's a loaded question. Not to cut you off. It's a loaded question.
No doubt.
I don't know what you like and don't like.
Yeah.
Any cuisine can be made into a healthy cuisine. My answer would be I would gravitate towards a lot of Asian food, because Asian you can control sodium, but it's like anything can be healthy. What do you like? Like we can make a gluten-free, dairy-free pizza for you with a whole wheat. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be gluten-free, but like we can do non-healthy foods healthy for you. That's what. So you asking that question is great, but it's like we could spend another few hours. Like there's a million different routes to make a healthy menu for you or whatever. It's a tough question. And that's, I think, the challenging part for us as we build MyChef and just kind of operate, is communicating that to people. We're not like any meal prep company you've ever thought about. Like throw that all out the window. Yeah. Anything is possible. Just tell us, like, what are your goals? What do you need? You say if you're going to do healthy food, what's your goal? Are you trying to lose weight? Do you just want to feel better? Are you trying to eat less protein, like meat? Like, what are your goals there? And we'll kind of guide you. Doesn't happen overnight. Just like you don't lose 50 pounds in a week. It takes a few weeks of working together and figuring all that stuff out. I use that term figuring out a lot when I talk to people about our services, because you have to figure out how your chef is cooking in your kitchen, and just, are we getting it? Is 5 days enough? Let's dial it back. And you know what? I really liked this style of rice you used. And my body reacted really well when you use just these oils, and all those things, they eventually come to fruition, and you kind of have your own customized health plan as well. Because unless you come to us and say, I need 2,000 calories a day, I'm gluten free, and we are going, Mediterranean diet, like we can do that. But a lot of people don't want to just jump right into that. They just need help figuring out what does healthy mean to them. And that's where we are really valuable and able to do.
Yeah, I think like people really need to like that's something that I don't hear a lot of when it comes to like the right program for somebody. Like you kind of think, all right, I'm going to pay for this personal trainer, I'm going to get in, and then they're going to know exactly what I need to do on day one. And
Weight is gone.
The first 4, I call it this. It's funny you say like figuring it out. I just call it awareness month. The first month of any personal training program is just awareness month. It's like I sit down and I say, hey Adam, how you doing, man? What's your issues you're having? And you're like, what are the issues I'm having? I definitely don't know the issues you're having if you don't know the fucking issues you're having. And so like the first 4 weeks is like, look, let's both become aware of your issues. So like the first month might not be you're going to lose fucking 1 million pounds, but the first month we're going to get a lot of valuable information because I'm going to kind of keep you accountable to showing back up with a list of like foods that you've been eating, and not really for me, but for you. Like if I never look at the food log that you put together, I say, don't change anything you're eating right now. Just become aware of what you're eating. And they're like, oh my God, like, dude, after 7 days of just tracking everything I've been eating, I've been looking, I guess I never really look at this. It's like fucking, I'm doing like 200 grams of sugar a day. Like what the fuck? Like all we need to do is cut that in half. And that's going to be a massive change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but you had no idea you were doing it. So it's like, it's awareness month. And right at first, if you're not aware that you're doing 200 grams of sugar, I might say, how do you do with sugar? And you'll say, oh man, I never do sugar. I drink 8 gallons of water a day. I eat 0 sugar. I always fresh food. Like I get 8 hours of sleep. Oh, so like you just became overweight for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Like, overweight just happened to you for no reason. This is interesting.
Yeah.
That can happen in a few cases, but those are very rare. So in any case, like I like that figuring it out, and it's going to be no different when it comes to personalization.
When everything is so customized, just as Ben said in the beginning, like we don't have a cookie cutter set structure. Even with like planning menus with clients, we don't have it has to be done this way at this time, because everybody's a little bit different. So you have to figure it out. You have to have that to be successful in customizing an experience for somebody. Are we going to hit it out of the park on the first week? Maybe it's possible, but certainly by the end of the first month, like we got it down. We know your kitchen. We know you, like, let us do our job. You're going to be happy. You just have to figure it out. I like that. Like, what did you call it?
I call it awareness month.
Awareness month.
Awareness month is the first month. And
awareness month.
Yeah,
I'm trying to fit that in.
No, you shouldn't. Well, this is why we work so well together. This is why it would be such an awesome idea. This is when we talked about it, I was like, when Ben told me what he does, I was like, dude, we need to hook up, because look, your clients' issues are my clients' issues. And everybody who's listening to this, my clients, our members here at Big Fitness, they could use somebody to come in and cook for them. It's part of why they come here. They're looking to just automate these processes to where that they could focus on their fucking crazy lives that they have, which is like, hey, if you're a doctor, dude, go be a doctor. Damn, man. Yeah. Just be a doctor at 100 miles an hour, for fuck's sake. I would rather you be focused on that, because you have people's lives in your hands than like, whether or not you're doing enough push-ups or fucking, you're cooking fresh food. And those things are important for you to do. So in any case, like it just makes sense. And even better, this would be dope. And guys, like this isn't official because we haven't solidified anything yet.
This is breaking news.
This is breaking news. No, not really. But you mentioned this in the conversation we had like a couple weeks ago, which is like, if we could meet even for 15 minutes on a fucking video call with like the client, the chef, and the trainer. And you could be like, this is the program that they're doing. This is their goals that they're doing. How is the food going? The chef can be like, all right, here's what's possible here. And then the fucking client could say like, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Like, whoa, the value of that for you. Yeah. The value of that for you.
What you were referencing earlier is like people want like somebody to come in and here's exactly what you need to eat and here's how but I mean, obviously you have to open your mouth and eat it, right? But that certainly, we don't do much of that sort of things of like consulting with other areas of our clients' lives. But I think this makes a lot of sense, especially people that are taking their nutrition really serious, right. Whether it's a bodybuilder or you're trying to lose weight. It's like,
yeah,
this is, you can accomplish anything. If your chef is meeting with your trainer and we are focused on you, the customized, I would do that. Like if I 100%, yeah. Sounds like a fantasy.
You know what I'm
To be
saying?
honest.
That's exactly right.
That's
That's
how
what
I
I'm
get a
saying.
6-pack abs.
That's
I do something like
exactly.
that, you know?
If you have that, like, look, if you have that, that's fucking, that is the answer. Now you can go and do it. Now think about this. I just was doing a podcast with a guy, and I've been talking about this a bunch because I thought his story was just amazing. He was on the podcast yesterday. I told you he's broke a couple world records. He's an
Yeah.
amputee. Actually, Sean is one of my trainers here at Big Fitness. One of his friends actually. In any case, he said he dealt with 9 years. He had this, I'm going to say this wrong, but regional pain syndrome. I'm missing a word for sure, but it's a very like rare disease or syndrome where basically you have this like radiating pain that doesn't go away. For 9 years, he dealt with just this pain from like a 4 on the pain scale. And there's all these different pain scales, but generally a 4 to like, this is not the right pain scale. So I'm sorry for everyone who knows all the different pain scales. In any case, the pain scale was the same one that they used for childbirth. And his was like, at childbirth is 2, like this pain syndrome is 1. And so like for 9 years, this dude is dealing with this pain and then he selectively amputates it. And then there's no pain immediately. And so it opened up a massive
Really?
portion of his brain. So he had been spending so much energy and so much effort in his brain to overcome daily pain that never went away. So he has to like operate, he has to talk with you and not be like, fuck. So like he's doing it, and now it's gone. And it just opens up this massive like open void of space now to fill with whatever. Like imagine all of the pain you're going through right now. Imagine all the pain and stress you're going through day to day, trying to figure out all your food and just fucking failing, because most of you are. And that's okay. We all are fucking having a hard time. That's why we pay for these services. Same thing with fitness. Now imagine you had your fitness automated. It's not going to be automated, but you get the idea. Somebody's running you through it. You have your fucking food. A chef is coming in, taking care of it. I'm gonna go all out. Somebody's cleaning your car. Somebody's coming in, like cleaning your house,
Walking your dog, folding your laundry,
mowing your lawn.
Yeah.
Dude, all that's done for you. Imagine the space left. Like you could conquer the fucking world.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's powerful.
It's a powerful thing. So everything you do is just like, it's that next step forward, every single thing you do. So I think this is going to be awesome. So what is the future for MyChef Casey and MyChef STL? What is the future?
No,
the vision?
man, it's $1 million question. Well, first off, I think it's important. Yeah, we were in Kansas City, and there's certainly sister, what would you call them, branches, so to speak. St. Louis is very much in St. Louis, and I like to think of MyChef STL as its own being, right? It's the culture of St. Louis, I think, is obviously different from Kansas City. And so we don't run things like that. But when you think about the future, I mean, we leave it open-ended. You mentioned something about scaling and how it's hard because of what you do. And, your trainers can only have so many clients or whatnot. We're not capping what we do. I'm not trying to put MyChef in every single city in the whole country. And we're not going to, I think for now, we're just approaching things as we've always had, taking it client by client, chef by chef, and making sure that the attention is there, the relationship building is there. A big part of our job is just making sure that we match up our clients with the right chefs, because personalities, you have to feel comfortable with that. And so when you think about the future, I mean, we're not going to get into catering or delivery. We get asked if we're going to deliver a lot. No, because then we lose what we do best, which is the customization part of it. I think for now, it's just as long as we're helping families, busy people, athletes here in the city, that satisfies our goal. Do you want to add anything to that? Because, I'm not looking at doubling our chefs in the coming year or anything like that. Just as long as we're seeing, the impact on our families and, partnerships like this, which I think will be really fun and really enjoyable. And I think Ben and I are both kind of fitness oriented as well. We both work out. I think it's just cool to experience from our end. I don't know. That's a tough question.
We've grown organically in St. Louis that I think that we just kind of have to keep going with that. Obviously, we have goals and infrastructure behind what we do, but we've really leaned into the fitness nutrition scene in St. Louis, and that's where a lot of our partnerships lean as well. And there's been a lot of mutual benefit, and there's been hundreds of people that we've helped, and that's our goal at the end of the day, is just helping people get find their best selves and living their best lives. And partnerships like this are just perfect avenues for that. finding more people to help benefit and have better, simpler, crazy lives.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, I'm super psyched about it, and I can't wait to see what happens moving forward with you guys.
Yeah,
I think we can
same
definitely
here.
bring a lot of value to people and like definitely make people's lives a little less stressful so that they
Yeah.
can focus on the things that they're fucking great at, and that they really have a passion for.
And if I can add real quick, I
Go
know
ahead.
we might have to be done here, but
No. Yeah, I got a couple more
seeing an
questions.
insight into your world, and seeing all the similarities, just how you impact your clients, and it's the same approach, just exercise versus food.
100%.
It's really, I don't know, enlightening. I'm not the best with words, but it's just nice to see, and I'm not going to say it like motivates me because I'm plenty motivated, but just to see that you're out there and you clearly have the passion of seeing the results with your clients, just like we do seeing the results of our chefs working with clients. It's just really cool to see. And it makes me feel even more confident
Yeah.
that we're doing something right. You're doing something right. This will be done right. And you ask about goals. It's like, more of this, like
More of this.
more of this.
Dude, like just bringing real, like this is what I'm so passionate about, man. Seeing a person transform and being like the spark in somebody's life is extremely difficult to do. Like it's
Mhm.
extremely difficult to have that impact, man. And it takes a lot of work and effort to do that. And so that's what I focus that's my fascination. I focus all my effort on that. And it's awesome to see that there's other people on the other side of the spectrum, but I can only focus all my efforts on one side of it. And here's what you always get. Like what is food compared to exercise on your journey to better fitness? And people always say 80-20, and I'm always like, dude, it's 50-50. They walk
Yeah.
hand in hand. What's your thoughts?
So tough.
Yeah.
That's so tough. Yeah, they have to be 50-50.
I
They really
would
do.
agree.
If you want the best results possible.
It's like saying I'm going to play a guitar. I think it's a funny question because people are always like, what is it? Is it 90-10, like food 90, exercise 10, or what is it? And I always go, dude, this is a irrelevant question, really, for the most part, I feel, because it's like saying what's more important, playing a guitar, the strum hand or like the chords,
Yeah.
or playing the chords on the the hell do you call it?
Fret.
The fretboard, yeah, or the fretboard hand. Like which one is more important? Which one should you work? Should you work on your shapes, or should you work on your strumming? And it's like you can't work on one over the other, and there's not one that's more important than the other. You have to work them together if you're ever going to learn how to play the guitar. And so it's the same thing when it comes to fitness. It's like if you're going to over focus one over the other and not see that these things exist in harmony,
Mhm.
then you're just kind of you're missing it all together. And they're both going to progress slowly, but as they should, but they'll progress together. You don't want to be overdoing one and missing out on the other, and then trying to ping pong back and forth.
Right. And that's the important thing to note, is that when it comes to fitness and food in particular, is that the best results are not going to happen overnight. At the end of the day, like you'll hear it from countless people that a specific diet is maybe not the best avenue, that a lifestyle change is usually going to be the best avenue for longevity and just creating a better and healthier lifestyle, and using a personal trainer and a personal chef to kind of guide you in the right direction. There couldn't be better options.
Yeah, 100%, man. So what were you going to say? Because you didn't say 80 over or 80-20 or
Well,
50-50.
I keep kind of going back to the same type of answers, but my initial thought is like, I think everybody's answer is probably different, and it should be like, you got to figure it out. Like, what is your number? And I think like somebody comes to you and they have a higher metabolism, right? But they're still trying to lose weight. Well, are you putting as much emphasis on food? If they, maybe that's a naive thing to say without knowing the insides of your industry, but everybody's a little bit different. I do think, because it was food over health, right? Which one is more, like what should be taken heavier? It's like, I personally would probably 50-50. I know nutrition is super important to maintaining the work you do here at the gym, but you might get somebody who could care less about that, and they are getting ready for their spring break and they just need to burn as many calories as they can for a month and move on with their life. Who am I to judge? So I think as as the professionals, like it's our job to identify, get to know you a little bit and kind of see, all right, you're telling me this, but what are you really meaning? And then kind of guiding you down that path and customizing the workout plan and customizing your menu. Because the worst is when you get somebody that's like, yeah, we want to eat healthy. We're thinking about doing keto for 5 days, 5 days a week. And you're like, well, that's not going to work. Like it just won't work. You're not, and then a month down the road, you're not going to see results. You're going to fire us. So it's like, well, what if we just try certain things here or there and see how you react? And then maybe we are doing keto-esque, although keto is my least favorite, I would say. But
Why is that?
It's just trendy. People think that they can eat bacon wrapped cream cheese and they're going to lose weight. And it's like, oh, we can eat all this fun stuff and that's it. But they don't really realize, well, you have to do it 100% of the time. You have to suffer for a little bit to get your body into ketosis and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't even remember what the original
No,
question was.
dude, we were, what the fuck were we saying?
50-50, 80-20.
Yeah, 50-50,
health.
80-20, yeah. And then it always sort of just kind of ripples out that way. I got one more question for you guys. Maybe you can both answer this. I usually ask this question to finish it off just to see, because I'm like, man, I wonder what people would say if I asked this question and if they had this opportunity. So, so we'll start with Adam. If you had the ear of every single person on the planet, all 8 billion of these motherfuckers out here, they could hear your voice and you could give one message right now, what would it be?
Wow. Oh. Right now, everybody in the world can hear me. Man, you should have heads up a little bit.
I like it not being
I don't know. That's a tough one. If I could say one thing to everybody, it's just maybe lighten up.
Yeah.
Like I try to be as optimistic as I can with everything I do. And with my family, I try to be the funniest, like lighthearted, like I'm really good at managing stress internally. So and then you see what's going on just with everything in the world, from politics to war and just everything. It's like, lighten up. Like I realize, especially after doing this type of job, that like some things aren't, what's more important? Is my joy, joy and value I get out of my life more important than stretching this company as thin as I can to make as much money? No, it's like, just if everybody could lighten up and realize that, we all just want to be happy. I think that's some weird answer that maybe works. I don't know. Ben,
no, that was good. No,
dude,
that was good. And I like throwing that. I like that answer because, I just like that question, and it wasn't a bad answer because I like to just see where your head's at right now at this moment.
It should be like, come on, world peace, and let's end hunger together.
No, but I feel
let's end world hunger.
That's when world hunger.
But no, realistically, it's just like everybody needs to kind of lighten up just a little bit, not take things as seriously, if at all possible.
That would be massive, dude. Ben, what's yours?
No, I'm pretty much on the same path as you. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all going through our own trials and tribulations, and everyone has their own issues and anxieties and their own paths and their own, struggles every single day. We all want the same thing at the end of the day, which is just to enjoy our lives and be with the people that we love and do the things that we love. And if everyone just recognized that we're all the same and have the same goals at the end of the day, I think that the world would be much less serious. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, dude,
if all 8 billion people were listening to me, I'd say mychefstl.com, Facebook.com/mychefstl.
That kind of exposure.
Clicks.
Straight up. If you had 8 billion people that
shut
had
down
to
the
listen
internet,
to you, straight up, dude, your fucking website would just crash. Absolutely. You'd be like, dude, call somebody, get some shit on that 100%.
We'll plug you guys too.
Right.
We'll plug Big Fitness.
That's awesome. 100%. Well, thank you so much, guys, for coming on.
Yeah, this was a really cool,
that was awesome.
Really cool experience. And
absolutely. Well, hey, this won't be the last time. This won't be the last time that at least our members hear about you or our clients. All of your guys' information will be down in the description. So everybody who came in and listened, thank you so much also for coming in and listening. Thank you for being amazing, and be expecting Big Fitness STL. Not Big Fitness STL, oh my gosh, MyChef STL, to be doing something with us in the future, because this is, I think, going to be an amazing opportunity. Where can they find you, Adam?
Me personally, well, I'm in Kent. No,
yeah.
So
give you a street address.
mychefstl.com. That's our website. That's kind of our main point. We are on Facebook, Instagram. I love pointing people to our Instagram because it's such a good visual for what our services look like. It gives people a good idea of what to expect. But those are all the kind of typical routes. Adam at mychefstl.com. People want to shoot me an email. If anybody has questions just about anything, they're not sure, even after listening to this, if maybe it's not going to work for them, like just ask. Send me an email. I'll have a nice conversation with you. Get you taken care of.
Yeah, you're a pretty approachable person. I feel so far, both times I've met you, you're a super cool guy. So guys, do not be afraid of Adam. Great dude. And Ben, where can they find you?
Same exact plugs, mychefstl.com, and as well as the Instagram and the Facebook. And then for me personally, my Instagram handle is chefben97.
Dang, Chef Ben 97. Well, thank you guys so much. Again,
Yeah.
all that information will be down in the description below. So go ahead and check that out. Thank you guys so much for fucking coming in and listening.
Boom.
And always remember, think big, live better.
I love
And
it.
we'll see you in the next one.